Well, if one of your goals in the New Year's and one of your resolutions is to buy a new home, boy, whom better to talk to or listen to this morning than our guest, or this afternoon, Carol McClintock, familiar Midday with my guest. She's with FC Tucker MG Realtors, and she's the head of Team McClintock. Good to see you again. Happy New Year. We hope the year's off to a good start. Today, you're going to give us some tips on reaching your home buying goals.
Right.
You got to have goals, don't you?
That's right. Absolutely.
Something about credit. Credit's terribly important. Work on your credit.
Right.
What can we do to work on our credit?
Well, there are some people that have had difficulty with credit previously. So the best thing to do is to sit down, look at what your bills are, do a budget, make sure that you're paying your bills on time. A lot of time we have the money and then we get busy and we forget.
Just forget.
Yeah. Get over that computer and pay online or write those checks or however you do it, get it done.
And isn't it a misconception? We think we need to have $100,000 down payment. You really don't, but you still have to plan for your down payment, huh?
Exactly. You're going to have to make some kind of down payment. Gone are the days, remember, nickel down? Those are gone. So you're going to have a down payment, but it can be as low as, if you do an FHA loan, it can be as low as 3%. So you need to get that saved up, or get mom and dad or grandma or somebody to give you that money. You need to have it in an account for 60 days usually.
Pre-approval, it's important as well. What do you mean by getting pre-approved, Carol?
Yeah, you need to meet with a local lender and have them look at all these things we've been talking about, your credit, your income, so that you will know what you can afford to buy. So, and lots of local lenders around.
And of course, when you're buying a home, you've got your wants and your needs. What do I need? What do I really want? You say prioritize both.
Right. So I tell people to make 2 lists. Okay, here's what our have-to-have list. We have to have 3 bedrooms. We have to have 2 full baths. Yeah. Okay, over here, do we have to have a fireplace? Do we have to have a swimming pool? Do we have to have an attached garage? I mean, there's lots of choices, basement. Right. And that really helps when the buyer has prioritized their needs, then it makes them easier when you go to buy a house. Right. So you know what you can afford and you can know what you want.
And if you do that, it can be a pretty easy process, can't it?
Right, exactly. So we don't need to be looking at 60 homes. I mean, that's okay. Sometimes we have to do that, and we're happy to do it. But it's hard on the buyer, too.
Sure.
You know, when you don't know your price range and then you're all over the place, you know, yeah, a $400,000 house has more bells and whistles than a $200,000 house. So you don't want to be wasting your time looking in those areas that you can't afford. Or if you can afford more, look there. Before we go to a break, we've been pretty lucky in Evansville, right, and this part of the country for quite a while, have we not? Yeah. Prices, everything has stayed pretty much the same and within reach. You know, we don't have those real high highs and real low lows. And we're going to talk a little bit later about exactly where we are in the market now. Talking to Carol McClintock with FC Tucker MG Realtors, and she's got more good information about buying a home and maybe selling a home when Midday with Mike continues right after this. Again, we're talking with Carol McClintock of FC Tucker MG Realtors. She had some wonderful tips about achieving your goals, getting ready when you're buying a home. What are the goals and how do you achieve them? Now, let's talk about the market. Overall, how do you assess it? Interest rates, are they decent for this time of year? You know, we've seen the interest rates go back down slightly. So we're seeing them, you know, because they went over 7 back in the fall. So now we're seeing them go back down slightly. So they're hovering in the 6 range, which really, it's pretty good. It's great. It's great. And, you know, one of the things that we're telling people when we're working with them is the prices are going down. And so, and there's less competition. Houses aren't selling in like 2 hours with multiple offers. Wow. So previously the interest rates were low, but you were paying more money. Now the interest rates have gone up a titch, not a ton, and there's not the competition. So people are being able to purchase a home for really kind of maybe what it's worth instead of paying $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 more. So it's still a great time to buy a house.
As Carol will tell you, the weather can sometimes play a major role in the status of when you're buying and selling a home. Kind of a brutal year, 2022, was it not?
Yeah, I think, Mike, it's a good opportunity to remind people that, and Mike and I were talking, you know, in the good old days when it got really, really cold, we and our parents wrapped pipes, drip, drip, drip out of the kitchen sink and the bathroom sinks, opened the doors to those, especially those with sinks on an outside wall. And that kept the pipes from freezing. Well, a lot of people in that really cold weather got caught. And I personally know of 3 different homes that were, had tremendous amount of damage. One home, almost $1 million in damage from a little break. Water is the enemy of a home, no matter what. You got to have it, but then you don't want it places. So we want to remind people, it's only January, middle of January. Right. We could have that kind of extreme weather again.
Sure.
And so just keep in mind, you know, you need to make sure that you keep your, people leave town for the holidays. They turn their thermostat down.
Right.
No.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Why not? People say, well, why shouldn't I? I mean, I'm going to be gone for 2, why do I need it?
Yeah, because of exactly what we were just talking about. Leave it at a reasonable temperature, open those doors, drip the faucets, and that should prevent that kind of catastrophic problem.
Right. Right now, here, as you say, early in the year, patience is a virtue, but sometimes we get so impatient. And also, do we sometimes overshoot what we have over expectations of what we can afford and what we really want? You really need to do your homework as you get ready to sell the house, right?
Right, absolutely. So, you know, it just makes a huge difference, and we've talked about this a lot, but it deserves repeating. Homes really need to be staged. Kind of always. Susan and I went up yesterday. We went to a lovely condo, but we moved some furniture around. We made sure that things were cleaned up, and it's just going to show a whole lot better, and those people probably going to get a little bit more money.
Folks, whether it's buying or selling a home, you can't get better advice than from Carol McClintock with FC Tucker MG Realtors. Hey, Team McClintock, best way to get hold of you, what's the number?
Oh, call us at 1-800-777-5220 or reach out to us through teammcclintock.com.
Carol, as always, thanks for the tips. And again, best of luck in 2023.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And folks, thank you for watching. I hope this day continues to go your way, and we'll be back tomorrow on Midday with Mike. I hope to see you then.